We're back, people, and today we got another mock draft. Miami Dolphins 2025 NFL Draft. Another 7-rounder. I believe this is version 9.0. So going into this, don't really have a plan this time, just because, I feel like I've done sort of every simulation you can think of. So we're just gonna have fun with this, see how this ends up falling. If there's a player there that I really like, I'm gonna take him. If not, I might consider some trades. So let's see how this rolls out. Pick 13. Okay, I mean that's an absolute steal to move back one spot and pick up pick 80, but we'll look at this. Okay, so in this type of situation, this is where I would definitely be considering a trade back. Because some players are off the board here that I think would be on the board. Definitely an interesting draft, but all the guys I really like Johnson, Membo, Graham, Campbell, the guys that you would hope fall are kind of gone. Genty, Tyler Warren would be very interesting picks. I don't think the Dolphins would do those, but they would be interesting. I think Stewart is a guy who could be off the board. Golden, Green, these aren't a lot of top options I love for Miami. So in this situation, I probably would look into a trade back, even though I think these top two guys would be off the board, potentially Stewart. O-line went pretty heavy there as well, because even Kelvin Banks is off the board, who I don't love, but yeah, that's interesting. So we're going to go into these trade offers. This is an absolute steal. This feels so unrealistic, but let's see. Pick 13, pick 98 for pick 23, 54, and a Green Bay second. That's not bad either, but it really is boosted by this next year second. That doesn't really help. You know what? I'm going to just take an extra pick in the third, I guess, to move back one spot. Do I just go crazy with it? Because obviously they took Loveland, who wouldn't even be a consideration for me. No, I'm not going to move back to pick. That's too far to move back. That's kind of crazy. Pick 14, pick 155. Okay, so I don't love those trade offers because, this one's not bad, but it involves a future pick, which is like the booster. And so here we trade back. I'm going to, maybe this could be a situation where it looks like we trade back a little bit more. But man, do I go Warren here? I would take Warren, but I don't think Miami would. I think Miami at this point would be considering Shamar Stewart. I think potentially Harmon, also like Jahdae Barron. The problem is I've taken Jahdae Barron and Kenneth Grant recently in most of these mocks, and that's who I would take here is Kenneth Grant, who they have at 35, or Jahdae Barron. But I think the Dolphins would be considering like Shamar Stewart, Nick Emenwari, maybe even on Michael Williams. Stewart is interesting because he can play multiple spots, but he also has some issues that I don't love. So you know what? We're going to throw it back. We picked up an extra pick, so maybe this works out for us. I'm going back to what I took first, and I'm going Tyler Warren. I don't care. He's an absolute stud. I think he'd be one of the biggest straight impact players right away for Miami that people are kind of underrating for the Dolphins. So trade offers, no, these are involving future picks. Don't love that. Interesting that Luther Burden falls to you. Luther Burden and Jackson Dart. Interesting. I would not take Jackson Dart here personally. I think it's too early. He'll probably be gone by this time anyways. Definitely an interesting top of the draft. Burden is very intriguing at this point. Burden is probably best player available. Ursery, Milrow, I don't know. I mean, a lot of O-linemen off the board. We did pick up an extra third, but I think... Wow. Yeah. Don't love how this board fell. A lot of the top guys that I would like are gone. Don't love the corners, safeties, potentially. Carson Schwessinger. So yeah, very, very intriguing here how this ended up kind of falling around. This is like where... You know what? Actually, I'm going to go Jonah Savaiinaea. He's still on the board. That gives you a quality guard starting right away for you. And having Tyler Warren and Jonah Savaiinaea, I think, would help completely transform your offense with like this physicality, and it would help with your run game consistency, while Warren can obviously also make an impact in the passing game in other sort of versatile ways. So I'm going to go Savaiinaea in this situation. Even though players like, I think like Schwessinger, Luther Burden, this is where receiver becomes a conversation, because you don't expect Luther Burden to follow you. Burden apparently has some, potential, not like off-field issues, but like, people have some slight character concerns with him, so that would be something to discuss. I'm just going to go Savaiinaea because, I took the guy I wanted early on. But, I mean, we'll get a pick 80 here. Nothing really to look at trade offer-wise. Let's scroll up. Interestingly enough, Jack Besh, top player on the board. I love Jack Besh. I'm not going to take him, but I do love Jack Besh. Seems like all the top options are people of positions we either don't need or have already taken. With it, tight ends, we already took a tight end. Let's see, defensively, I think this comes down to, let's see what they got at corner. I don't think corner or safety's looking too good. Yeah, probably not either of those spots. Maybe with your next pick, I can take one of those. So I'm probably just going to go to D-line. And for me, at D-line here, it comes down to these two, Omar Norman Lott or Shamar Turner. For me, I prefer Norman Lott. I think, he's going to be a super explosive 3-tech type of tackle that is constantly disruption pass rusher. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins preferred Turner. Also a very disruptive player, but he's super versatile alignment. Also very athletic. I just don't think he has a clear plan all the time. Like, he definitely has like great power. He has great upside. And I think he can win pretty quickly with a lot of his stuff, but there's still some development that I think is needed there. So I'm gonna go Norman Lott just because that's my preference. But that one is close. That is a definite conversation. D tackle still looking pretty good. Corner at this spot is interesting. Safety, I would consider, like, I think Bowman, Sinker would be in this conversation. Kobe Bryant would be in this conversation. We can just look at the top guys here. Definitely an interesting look. We've already taken tight end, O-line, D-line. Do I reach potentially a little bit for a corner and take Kobe Bryant? We do have some picks rolling around the corner. We could hope to get lucky. I think it'd be fine if Bryant went off the board because I would be down to take Riley or Parrish. Safety, I'd be down to take a couple of these guys. I could try to take one of them now before they're off the board. You know what? I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to take a safety that I think is going to be gone. I think Bowman will be gone. And he's a safety that can also play as like a nickel, very instinctive player. He's kind of like a little bit lower end version of Makuba, I think, in this draft. I think Makuba is just like the better version, but Bowman's fun, especially because, this late third is, it's basically a fourth, and Dolphins have a lot of picks coming up. So see how this rolls around. We get to 116. Oh my God. They want 149, 174, 204. Damn, they give me a lot of picks. That would be interesting. I don't think I'm going to do it for this scenario because it feels a little bit crazy. But we get to corner, and yeah. So a couple of those guys come off the board. Safeties, linebackers, don't love that. I think I'm just going to go corner here. I don't know why they have Jacob Parrish ranked below some of these people, but Parrish, in my opinion, at this spot would be great value. I actually think he should be gone. He's a little bit undersized, but like this guy is a good athlete, fluid, great feet, very physical for his size, can play inside, outside, great man-to-man guy. So I'm going Jacob Parrish because I'm a big fan of the player. And we got more picks coming up, and I just want to secure that just in case he ends up going off the board there. So now we get to this pick. Now I feel like we can get a little bit, because we've taken a lot of needs now. Corner, safety, D-line, O-line, while also, taking another need with Tyler Warren, but maybe a little more of a luxury there. But I feel like I've found some contributors here across the board. So I feel like we go a little bit looser. QB, no. Running back, I actually think Tootin would be interesting. He's a very good player, but I don't know. The fumbling concerns me with him. Defensively, doesn't look great. We could go Jordan Phillips or Jamari Caldwell here. What D-line did we take? We took Norman Lott. Norman Lott, okay, so he's more of a 3-tech. Well, Phillips and Caldwell can play as like a 1 type of role. Pegues can line up pretty much anywhere. I've taken Pegues a decent amount. Edge, no. Linebacker, no. Corner, safety, no. So I'm going to go D-line room, double up on D-line. It's good to do. I'm going to go Jordan Phillips because I think he's super explosive. I think combining explosiveness with power is very, very good, and he's especially on that interior nose tackle. He's not like the tallest guy, but I actually think that helps when you're playing as like a 1/nose. I think he's just going to be actually a quality contributor at the next level. You could even triple up, go with those guys back to back. But I was considering running back. I think that's where we go running back. Now that he's fallen a little bit, Tootin is truly one of the most explosive guys in this class. Like, yes, the ball security is bad, but if he can work on ball security, like, I think he has potential to be one of the best running backs from this class. Like, he's actually that good with his level of explosiveness. And not only just like straight line with his burst and stuff, like his fluidity and his hips is so impressive too. So I'm going to at this spot. And yeah, now we get to see a little bit of people fall. We might triple up on D line because O line is not great here. I think it's like I don't love Rivers. Luke Kandra's not bad, but he's another one that is he's one that's not a great scheme fit. Like he's a more in the phone booth type player. I don't think it's athleticism I would love for Miami. So we might triple up. And since we just took a 1 tech slash nose, I might go with. So we took like a 1, we took a 3, and those are like their main positions. They can move around a little bit, but not too much. Pegues gives you that variety. Plus, he could also even potentially, play some fullback on offense, and also like as a big edge. So definitely intrigued with that. I don't mind tripling up on D line. Like we need bodies in those room. Like all of those guys would see playing time. Uh, Definitely can help get a lot of work there on the defense. And now we're into the 7th round where things become a little more loose. Can go in a couple of different spots here. We're going Willie Lampkin, my dog. Always taking Willie Lampkin if he's there in the 7th because that guy is a stud, and he might even be a fullback if he doesn't work out at O line. So now we got some O line double up. Do we have DBs? That's potential. Wow, I'm going to do something surprising here, something I've never done before, and I'm going to take Craig Woodson in the 7th round. Yep, athletic, versatile, fluid, solid size, just like an all-around solid player that I still don't understand why he's here exactly. Because he kind of just does everything at, like, he doesn't have, like, an elite trait anywhere, but I feel like he does everything just pretty solid, so. At safety play, that is completely fine. I don't always need flashy safety play. Corner, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know any of these people's names. Oh, I could take Kone. Okay, Kone is a potential. We haven't gone linebacker. Cody Simon would be interesting. Nick Martin, if you were looking special teams. We haven't gone edge, but haven't watched a ton of these guys, and I don't love some of the guys I have seen there. No, we could go. I did just make a video on Brosmert. He's actually a very intriguing, best anticipation in the class. I could actually, and he's like very smart at the line of scrimmage. Like he makes a lot of pre-snap calls. He's not a high floor prospect, but he is one of the guys that I could see being a like backup in the league for a very long time because of how smart he is, and especially if he ends up in like a Shanahan type of team. So that would be interesting to go after that. Could go Caleb Rogers actually. I think he's a good scheme fit, and he would be more of a tackle that could potentially play some interior. So what are you thinking? Do I go Bilal Kone or Caleb Rogers? Ooh, that's tough. I'm gonna go Rogers actually because Kone is nice, but Dolphins. I feel like corner they've had a lot of success finding as UDFA's. So I'm gonna think we take the chance on the O line and then hope you hit on a corner UDFA that has a chance to make the team. But this is definitely an interesting class. Like I love Tyler Warren. I think I went very defensive heavy in this class. In that middle portion at least, I went offensive heavy at the start. I feel like you fixed that physicality problem. Some guys who can be some bullies up front. Just better blocking at wide tight end and better blocking at guard, which is a huge difference maker from what you had last year. And I think that would automatically make you a much better run offense, which would then make you a better play action team, which is where the Dolphins need to be. Norman Locke gives you a pass rush presence, and a guy I think would be probably your starter, like with the people you have on the team right now. He would be your starter at least as like a 3, maybe go outside a little bit as well. Bowman can fight for a safety spot. That's one I feel like, I could have gone in a couple different directions, but I don't mind having Bowman there. That guy is a fun player, and he also can play like safety, nickel, versatility. Parrish is another one that I think could start like for Miami. I think he would be in the mix to start, and I think he's better than what you have right now outside of Kohu and Ramsey. And I wonder if they would actually play him on the outside or if they would play Kohu on the outside in those situations because both can play. Both. Phillips would be a rotational player for you. Tootin would see some playing time at running back, especially with injuries happen. Pegues would be a rotational player. And then Lampkin, Woodson, and Rodgers would be all, I think, solid depth. All bring good athleticism. All play with physicality, and I don't mind, taking the chance on those types of players. So, not a bad draft there. Lots of quality talent. Don't think I had any like crazy steals or anything. That's like the only thing I feel like in some of the other drafts, you feel like you just get away with some steals, but I feel like I get a lot of good value picks. I guess the steal I had was that trade. They moved back one spot to get pick 80, which is super unrealistic. But so if you guys are the video, like, comment, subscribe,